Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. A great article here from Fierce Network. I really like this article, so I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So not only is T-Mobile shifting its future way of networking to AI RAN, they are also trusting AI to make 5G network tweaks. So I wanted to talk about that a bit in this video. So T-Mobile executive explained how they're using AI to enhance the network. It's a model that relies on billions of data points to assess the customer experience across its network. It is unique, perhaps, but other operators also use AI to strategically plot network optimization. So it's not something that only T-Mobile is doing or something that T-Mobile created or some innovation that's new. And no, other carriers are using this too. So we want to keep that in mind. So essentially what this AI modeling is, right? This is more of taking a step back from the traditional way of networking and doing things like paying someone to go test the network and the signal, not root metrics, but some of the carriers, and I remember Verizon had a salary position where they would have somebody in the metro market test the network daily in different areas and report back. Right. So that's kind of what AI is taking over. AI is able to tell you, or should be able to tell you, hey, you need to deploy a macro here. Or the data points will tell you need to deploy something, and then it's up to the engineers what they think they should deploy. If it's a small cell, a macro, whatever, I think that'll be left up to the engineer to decide. But the AI modeling will say, hey, you're losing a lot of customers in this specific area because of low RSRP, weak network signal. That's, to my understanding, how it should work. So for some competitive reasons, wireless carriers typically don't reveal too many specifics about their network expansion and upgrade plans. So when T-Mobile's executives were asked during Wednesday's Q3 earnings call to elaborate on their plans for more mid-band 5G upgrades, they steered the conversation to the tools they use to determine how they're going to expand coverage, as opposed to detailing exactly where and when they will deploy. So it just sounds like the whole, hey, we're going to deploy 10,000 macros by 2027. That talk seems like it might be over. We might not get as detailed of network plans moving forward. It's a possibility that they may disclose certain deployments, but with AI and like it states here, for competitive reasons, they might not share as much anymore. Their approach, embrace for yourself, this is going to be a real shocker, is based on artificial intelligence. In a nutshell, they're using billions and billions of data points to assess what customers are experiencing across the country. That data gets assigned a customer lifetime value, CLV, and plotted on a grid across the country. Think millions of little hexagons across a map of the US. So again, if they think like, hey, look, this customer has been with us, X amount of years based on this experience they're having on the network. If we can make it better, can we get that customer to stay another 10 years, right? That's how they should look at it, right? I don't know if that's the specific number. The carriers might be like, hey, if we can get a customer to stay 5 years, that's CLV for us, but I'm sure there's a 10, maybe 20-year number that they would like the customer. And of course, every company would like the customer as long as possible. We are assigning those value relative to competition to allow us to know exactly where we can build to please customers, said Ulf, who's in charge of the network. At the end of the day, this is not a pop drive where you're just chasing population and where population lives. It's a much more complicated art to figure out exactly where customers will value most of our build. So where they invest, capital allocation, where they build, they actually want it to matter, right? They don't just want to build and then nobody's using it, everybody's leaving, right? They want to be able to, okay, say we're growing here, let's build out some more towers in this area because maybe we can create that CLV, or maybe we can create lower churn. Or if I build 2 more towers, I can keep people from leaving, right? That's a possibility. There might be a weak signal area where people are leaving T-Mobile, right? They're churning, and if T-Mobile put 2 towers there, they could fix that problem. That's what I understand, that's how detailed this whole AI platform is after speaking with a few people. Behind the curtain, so it's not the first time T-Mobile has talked about using AI to improve its network. They were talking about that briefly, I think even back in 2021 when they had their Investors Day. During the company's Capital Markets Day in September, Edwardson described how they divvy up the data sets into what they call these hexagonal pieces of geography that are about 165 meters wide, with even smaller pieces in urban areas. In every one of the hex bins, they're able to study the billions of data points in every single network interaction that occurs in that area. So the data points are presented to them. It seems they will be the ones to end up making the final decisions how they should approach each interaction and data set that they're looking at is what I take away from that. And then the rest, you guys can check out for yourselves. There's another interesting one. Mike Sievert said T-Mobile's approach is different than what many others are doing to prioritize network enhancements, but it's not entirely clear how much different it is from the rival strategies. If I had to take a guess, maybe Verizon and AT&T haven't fully shifted to that type of AI model just yet, and they might still be taking somewhat that traditional approach, but it's not something that T-Mobile will be the only ones using in the future, right? That's not going to be the case. That's just not going to be the case. Verizon's using AI, AT&T's using AI. And here we have a quote from Verizon. Verizon's been using AI for network deployment management and optimization for years, including for coverage optimization. AI is used to establish how Verizon allocates network resources, to forecast energy usage on a cell site level, and to answer common language questions about network usage and performance. Again, it's a very similar type of process of what T-Mobile is doing here. So it's not that drastically different, right? T-Mobile might have some newer modernized technology running this since they've been, upgrading to the 5G core. That's possible, but it's all pretty much, I would assume, similar. So that's where we're at, right? T-Mobile is really moving away from the traditional networking, and they're moving the AI to the AI RAN. I think that's more so a 6G thing. I think we will see that in late 5G, but that's that AI RAN situation. I think that's more bigger in 6G. But the AI that they're using today to determine where they should deploy the hex bins, right? The data points for network tweaks. Recently, John Saul presented at NVIDIA. He said that the network is already self-optimizing. So if a cell site goes down in one area and another site is close by, it can fill in without needing any human interaction. That's pretty impressive, that technology. Before, you would have had to engage an engineer to kind of tweak the site to fill in, but now apparently it can self-optimize with technology. So machine learning and all that is going to be big for the networking, and T-Mobile is building it, right? They're not building old platforms and cutting corners. They're really building a futuristic platform that will allow them to compete for customers and broadband customers for years to come. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.